You are ready now.
1 Corinthians 9:24-27 says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore I do not run like a man running aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body, and I make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize." The Christian life requires effort. When I was a kid growing up, I was much taller than all of my family. In my Hispanic culture, it is really not known for really great heights. But in fact, by the time I was in 6th grade, I was wearing my dad's clothes. I was using my height to play basketball, and in one season I played in the City League. I thought that I was ready to be in the high school basketball team. I had not run or practiced any drills, but I had planned on my giftedness to be what provided the key for me to get to the team. And when tryouts came, during the 3-day summer tryout, I was second to last on the suicide laps. I couldn't make a basket, and I could hardly pass the ball. On the first day of school, my dad and my sister were in the truck waiting as I went into the gymnasium to get my letter so that I could open it with them. And my heart was crushed. The first verse says, "Do you not know that the runners in a stadium all race, but only one of them receives the prize?" In Corinth, there was an annual sports tournament. It was called the Isthmus Games because Corinth itself was on an isthmus between two bodies of water. Everyone would come and see the games. And you might be thinking, we don't have something like this in our own city. But of course we do. We have the Boise State Broncos. Even if you're not a fan, every season when football comes around, that's all anyone wants to talk about. People go watch them train, people go watch them play, people go to the tailgate. It's a whole mess. The Christian life is exactly like these Isthmus Games. The next verse says, "Run in such a way to win the prize." Now, everyone who competes exercises self-control in everything, and they do it for a perishable crown, but we do it for an imperishable crown. We must run like competitors. There's a popular saying today in basketball: shooters gotta shoot. But what if I miss? I gotta keep going. Next time I'm back down the court, I gotta keep shooting. We're after a pure crown, an imperishable one. And now if we understand this, we must remember that there is a difference between the Olympics in our day and the Christian walk. While the world chases in vain for gold medals and fancy trophies, there's one trophy that lasts forever. And when we think about it in this perspective, the small difference actually has enormous consequences. How we live in this life has important implications for our future. Paul continues, "I do not run like one who runs aimlessly or box like one beating the air. Instead, I discipline my body and I bring it under strict control so that after preaching to others, I myself will not be disqualified." Every single person in this room is dealing with something in their heart. Maybe you've shared it with a friend or a counselor. The enemy is daily trying to steal your heart and take your eyes off the prize. Whether it's money, drinking, or porn. Remember that the Christian life is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. Brother, train with me as I train with Christ to be transformed into the image of the Son. If anyone is feeling overwhelmed, please reach out to our groups. This walk is a long one, but you have good brothers and sisters surrounding you who will help you up. Christ has given us a spirit of power and of self-control. Back on the day when I got that letter, when I got into that truck and I told my dad these things, he told me that the following years would be different. Every day that year, I practiced, I ran drills alone, and the following year I made it onto the team. In this life, the enemy wants you to stop shooting. He wants you to stop and wants you to look at the misses and wants you to quit the race. Remember, we're not training for a Letterman jacket. We're training for eternity. So keep running, keep shooting, and keep your eyes on the prize.